Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sam, and on today's video I'm going to review the brand new 4K release from Second Sight of Brandon Cronenberg's Possessor. Now, Possessor is one of my favourite films of recent years. I think genuinely it's a masterpiece of genre filmmaking. Brandon Cronenberg is very much following in the footsteps of his dad, David Cronenberg, and sort of following themes of body horror, sci-fi horror things going on, a lot of psychology, a lot of looking inwards at humanity and things like that. But with his own stamp. He's definitely using those themes, but telling his own stories. But yeah, this is great. So what is Possessor about before we go any further? So it follows the story of a elite corporate assassin played by Andrea Riseborough, and her character's name is Voss, and she is able through this implant technology to put her consciousness into other people's, so she inhabits their bodies and uses this as a means to carry out corporate assassinations and various different things like that. And on one job, she is unable to sort of separate herself from the person she is inhabiting, and the conflict arises there, and it's very surreal, and it's very violent in places, but very interesting, thought-provoking, philosophical questions about what it means to be human, to how technology is shaping us and our perception of the world, and just human beings are changing because of all this technology. And it's just a really interesting, introspective, but also visceral experience, and I absolutely adore it. I have to mention the score on this film is particularly good. It's particularly on this second watch. It's by Jim Williams, who's a British composer, and he's done a bunch of films for Ben Wheatley, and he also scored the music for the first two Juliet de Cournal movies, so Raw and Titan, which I'm huge fans of those films, very much my speed of modern horror. It's particularly body horror type stuff. So he's got a very distinct style. Now that I've seen a few of the films he's composed for, I now know his music, and it definitely adds something to it. Some of it's quite subtle. Really helps on this 4K disc with the sound quality. I listen to it on headphones and stuff, and it's so immersive, but also some of it's really subtle and sort of in the background, really heady, and it's just wonderful. But then other moments, some of the accents in the music come through during certain scenes and just really elevates things, and I just think it's magnificent. The performances in this film are great across the board. We have small supporting roles from Jennifer Jason Leigh and Sean Bean. Wonderful, veteran actors. As I said, Andrea Riseborough's in this, and then Christopher Abbott, who's been fantastic in pretty much most of the things I've seen him in. Very sort of undervalued talent in sort of filmmaking at the moment, I find, but he's really good, and it's just absolutely incredible. So on to the disc. This is such a good release. My front runner for the release of the year so far. I know we're only in March, but this is stunning. The 4K looks superb, but the film is generally quite muted, but it still looks great. The clarity is very crisp. I experienced no issues with any compression or pixelation or anything like that, any artifacts. The film played and run perfectly without any issue. The music, as I said, is absolutely amazing. The score by Jim Williams absolutely sings on this. It's very subtle, as I mentioned earlier, but no issues there. Really good. Special features. A whole wealth of special features. Sorry, there's so many that I can't remember exactly what they all are, but I watched all of the special features, apart from the audio commentary, which I am currently listening to because it's in my car at the moment. So some highlights from this. There's an interview with Brandon Cronenberg, and he goes into sort of the production history. It took him nearly 8 years to make this film. Finances dropping out, and just developing the camera techniques and the practical effects and stuff for this film. The DOP, what's his name? Karim Hussein. There's a 20-minute interview with him about how they shot the film, and it's so good. There's also things like camera test footage, some deleted scenes, which are really good. Brandon Cronenberg even talks about this in the special features. There were some of the scenes that he deleted that he was very reluctant to, because he absolutely loved them. And there is a really interesting one where Voss, played by Andrew Riseborough, is like watching ASMR to sort of like help with her mental state, which I found really interesting. It's a really good scene. But Brandon Cronenberg seems to think even though he loved the scene, he cut it because he felt that the film flowed better. But for me, I think the film, it would have fit really well into the film, but who am I to say? It's not my art that I'm, showing the world. And then really cool on here is the short film, Please Speak Continuously and Describe Your Experiences as They Come to You, which was sort of like, it's like a 10-minute film, that sort of, it's not the same as Possessor, but it was a workshop that they used to sort of work out how they were going to do some of the effects for Possessor eventually, and that's wonderful. And it's stacked. There's loads of stuff. Usually you get with Second Sight films, you get an awesome book. I mean, that artwork is so cool. And it's 120 pages, and it's just stacked of like stuff, essays and production notes, and there's like step-by-step shot lists and things like that. And I read this from cover to cover as soon as it arrived in the post, because I couldn't sit down and watch the film immediately because I had family around me and stuff, but we were having a chill morning, and I just sat and read the whole thing. And great book. If you like this film, this will definitely, hopefully, improve your perception of the film, maybe. And if you love it anyway, this is really going to be a great compliment to the film itself. So overall, great visuals, great audio, packaging is amazing. I love the design on here, seen from the film there, and the book is great. Special features are all great. I have no faults. I think the film is one of my favorites, so I'm biased in that opinion because I love the film so much, but its audio and visual presentation are stunning, and all the supplements you get really add to the whole everything, and I love it. And I implore you, if you're interested in body horror, if you're into just like the 70s and 80s stuff mostly, and you want to see something from a modern perspective, who happens to be the son of possibly the greatest sort of body horror filmmaker, I'd highly recommend you give this one a go. So that was my thoughts on the new Second Sight release. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you picked this up yourself and what you thought of it. Yeah, until next time, everyone, take care.